Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Get the Shot, brought to you by Tamron Australia. My name is Joe, I'm your host. Today I've got Michael Ronin with me, photographer, videographer, landscapes, really incredible stuff. Blue tick on the Instagram page, gotta love it.
Paid for.
Paid for?
Paid for, yep.
No, that's all right. Michael has a lot of courses available as well online and a YouTube channel that he's very active on. We're gonna get into all of that, but Michael, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks very much for having me.
One thing I noticed when I was going through your Instagram page, you quite like, within your landscape photography, a sub niche of like a log or a pathway or something like that in the middle of your frame, and then your landscape behind that. What made you get into that style?
I think it's just so, when I first kind of got out doing landscapes, like obviously they weren't that good, and I just kept taking photos, coming back and just looking at what didn't I like, what did I like, and I noticed I used to lack leading lines a lot. So yeah, now whenever I see them, I kind of try and incorporate them if I can. So yeah, that's probably the story behind that.
That's all right. Are you very much into those sort of rules of like leading lines and thirds and all that sort of stuff?
This is a tough one because I think sometimes they're important, but I think it's important to know the rules, but it's cool to break them. I don't think like an image that's perfectly centered on a third line or has leading lines, that automatically makes it a good photo. There's more to it than that, but I think if you can combine good lighting with some of those compositional elements, then it can help to make a good photo. Just leading the eye through and not letting the eye kind of get stuck on an obstacle, that type of thing. So yeah, I think even in my course, I say, like, these are the rules, but it's photography, is artistic, so just break them, do whatever you want. I mean, with certain genres, you can't really do that, but yeah, because I shot a bit of real estate and architecture as well, and obviously one of the rules is keeping the walls vertical.
Yep.
Landscape, keeping the horizons level is a big thing, although if you're going for something artistic, then it's artistic, so yeah, do whatever you like, basically.
How did you get into doing courses?
So when I've probably done photography for about 20 years now. Not professionally for the whole 20 years. I got my first camera, and the reason I got a camera is because I was doing, like my earliest career was doing web, and I've had jobs like car washing and silly stuff, but my proper career was probably doing web and graphic design. And a lot of the clients would ask, oh, we got staff we want headshots of or products, can you take photos? And I'd just like, yeah, I can. I'll just get a camera and just learn on the job. Fake it till I make it type thing. But
don't worry, we've had this conversation on the podcast before with lots of people. Yeah. Everyone to some degree has to learn on the fly.
Yeah, exactly. So so I did that, and then I did that for a while, and I'm like, I actually enjoy the photography side of this more than the web and graphic stuff. So I don't even remember what your question was. I'm so sorry.
Oh, getting into doing courses.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, during that time, I did do a few courses, like online things and stuff like that, and I always just felt like I wish there was a course that went into like every genre, almost every genre, and taught everything. I felt like a lot of the courses that I did do were like gatekeeping, or they would be editing an image and then they'd say, oh, we're done, and then they'd show the final, but it wasn't the final that they kind of showed while they were editing.
Right.
So they've done something after that, and you're like, oh, but you didn't show me what you did after that. So I've shot a lot of genres over the years. Obviously I prefer landscape and nightscapes, astro, but I've done pretty much every genre because of the whole web design thing. So I do product photography, I portraits for headshots, yeah, pretty much everything. So the problem with me is that I get obsessed with stuff. So if I'll get into like a hobby, I'll just go all in and I want to know everything about it. And it was kind of like that with photography, but photography's been the one thing that I've done for like the whole 20 years. That's always been there. I've got into like coffee, obsessed with coffee and all that stuff.
What are you obsessed with now?
Probably my van and turning that into a camper van. So,
really?
Yeah, so I got obsessed with that a while ago. I got heaps done and then I stopped. That's the thing, when my obsession stops, it's hard for me to get back into it, but I've gotten back into it again over the last few weeks because I've got to finish it. So yeah, building that But
I need to introduce you to my boss, Andy. He has a camper van and he's
nice.
done a few videos on it.
Oh, you have to show me, yeah.
And he, in like one video, got thousands of views, and it's all 65 plus people watching YouTube on their TV.
Yeah.
And he can now monetize his videos and stuff like that.
Nice.
So,
Yeah. I just wanted to build a van so I could, because I think I've been to every location in Victoria within like 2 or 3 hours of me. So I just want to be able to drive a bit further out and just stay the night, do nightscapes or astro, and then wake up and do sunrises, you know, somewhere 6-7 hours away. Not have to worry about coming home. So yeah, anyway, I get obsessed with stuff. So I've done a lot of courses myself over the years, online, like architecture, real estate ones and things like that. And yeah, I just wanted to make a course that was, because I've got 2 courses at the moment. One of them is just the ultimate photography course. That's just basically starts at the basics. So everything from like how a camera works, what's ISO, what's shutter speed, etc. But as the course progresses, it gets a little bit more in depth, a little bit more challenging kind of thing. And there's a part that I call real world scenarios, which is where I teach them like product photography. And there's like 4 methods of product photography, just, you know, taking a photo simply with nothing. Then there's using flash, then there's maybe painting with light, then blending those together. So if you've only got one flash, you can kind of take 10 images of one product and then blend the lighting from different sides and make it look like it's been lit by 10 lights or whatever type of thing. So yeah, I did, like I said, I get obsessed. So I did courses on product photography and all that type of thing. And not that I think I could teach it better, but I just wanted to make a course that nothing was gate kept, and yeah, just a whole bunch of different genres that someone could do my course that had an interest in photography. And by the end of the course, they might say, oh, I liked the portrait stuff, I might get into that or whatever.
I find it interesting because it's like the natural progression is you get into photography as a hobby.
Yeah.
Then you do it for a while commercially.
Yep.
And then there's a course. And it seems to be quite the thing. Or before the course comes out, there's the personal brand that you develop on social media as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And then there's the course. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Personally, for me, I like to shoot landscapes and there's no money in it. But, well, there can be if you shoot for tourism and stuff like that. And that's what I really enjoy. It gets me out of my house, gets me out of the office, fresh air, seeing beautiful places. It's an excuse for me to go somewhere I probably wouldn't normally go. The fact that I can come back with a photo and a memory is awesome. So yeah, for me, it was the way of kind of earning money from photography without having to do weddings or like client stuff, basically. It doesn't earn a heap of money, but it helps. I still do like web and graphic design.
Fair enough.
Mostly, but yeah, I just thought if there was a way I could earn some money. But you know what, it's more so about the community as well. Like I've loved the community I've built. So we've got a Facebook group. Anyone who joins any of the courses gets to come into the group.
Fantastic.
And I love it, like it's awesome. I hope it stays civil because I know when groups get bigger and bigger, they start to argue and stuff. But at the moment it's really civil. Everyone's really friendly, supportive, and yeah, I love that. I love the YouTube too, so.
Are you liking the community management side of things?
Yeah, I enjoy that, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Like, and the other thing I enjoy doing, I don't know if people would find this weird, but I enjoy helping people that have questions. So someone might be like, I watched this lesson of the course, I didn't quite understand this, or can you delve into this? Yeah, I love helping people. I don't know why, it's weird. But
I know, I think
it's like I enjoy sharing the knowledge that I've learned over the years. That's kind of what the course was about. It was never about money, to be truthfully honest, at the start. I actually filmed most of that course before the first lockdown we had for COVID. I think it was the first one. But I hadn't touched it for like a year or two. And my partner said, you have to finish it. Like it's COVID, you're not doing anything, you can't go out anywhere. At least finish all the sit down desk type of stuff. And obviously because a lot of it involved going out to actually shoot some of the stuff for the landscapes and all that. So I finished it, and in my head the whole time, like this isn't going to go anywhere. There's a million courses out there. There's no point. But I started running ads to do it, and yeah, I'm glad I did. Like I said, it hasn't made me rich or anything like that, but I love the community, and it's earned some money where I can afford to go to some of these places and make videos and things like that for fun. So
I don't think there's much point in knowledge if it just sits there.
Exactly.
Like it has to be applied somehow, whether you teach it or it becomes your profession
I 100% agree.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Something interesting with landscapes, and you touched on, you're like astro and sunrises and / sunsets. Are you more interested in the condition of the landscape more than the landscape itself? Does that make sense?
Do you mean like lighting and all that stuff?
Yeah, because you mentioned those as part of your interests.
Yeah, I am now.
Yeah.
So one thing that I used to, if there's one thing I could say that changed, I don't want to say I'm a good photographer. I hate boasting, but if there's one thing that I noticed personally when I think my photography got better, it's when I learned to just take my time and slow down. I used to just snap a photo, not even look where the sun was, not even look at the lighting. I might have worried about composition a little bit, but I've just snap a photo. And this is kind of how I learned, obviously practice. I've taken a million landscape photos, 90% of them haven't seen the light of day, like my earlier stuff. So I would look at it and think, what don't I like about it? I don't like the sun's really harsh, or there's no color because it's this time of night, not night, but it's getting a bit late or whatever. So that's when I told myself I need to start paying attention a lot more to slowing down, pay attention to my composition, the lighting. So I think, to answer your question, I think the conditions are more important. Like I could find a bare field that would look just terrible at midday, but at golden hour, let's say it's daylight savings time, maybe 7:30 at night or something, golden hour could just make it look totally beautiful and different. So like I've got a photo on my Instagram. It's like a shed just in the middle of a field, and when I got there it didn't look particularly nice, but I was tuning a lesson on telephoto landscape photography, and when I got there I'm like, it doesn't look that good, I'll just do it anyway. And then the light just changed I think it was sunset when I did that one. And it would have been roughly golden hour leading up to sunset, and it's just the lighting to me. I love that photo because of the lighting. So amazing. Lighting, time of day, composition. I really care about all that stuff now. Whereas I used to just kind of think, I've got to find cool locations. Whereas I've simplified a lot. Like if you looked at my Instagram, you may have seen a lot of more simple stuff lately, like piers and jetties, just shooting straight out to them. Whereas maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I would have said, nah, I'm not doing that. It's boring. Like I need a crazy rock or something in the middle of nowhere. I've simplified a lot of my photography, and I care more now about composition, lighting, time of day, clouds, color, all that type of thing. So
Dude, I'm kind of like the same, but with movies. When you mentioned simplifying stuff, that just rings really true to me. I like to write. That's like one of my creative outlets at the moment.
Beautiful.
And I'm thinking like, okay, I want to write this complicated thing where there's 17 characters and they have motives and character arcs and this and that, and there's all these things that have to happen and whatnot. But it's like, well, why don't we just have a simple story where there's
someone's
like,
got to follow that.
Yes, that's why sitcoms did so well, because it's the 5 or 6 characters and you get to know them really well and understand them. And so less moving parts, more time focused on core things. So that's interesting. You sort of bring that all up. How do you go? Oh, you were going to say something.
I was just going to say, I've simplified like a lot of stuff. So I did videography as well. I don't do, every time I film a YouTube video, technically it's videography, but I used to do more professional videography. I actually shot an ad for Vespa, which I was pretty proud of. I don't think it went on TV. It was just a YouTube, or like a social media campaign. That was pretty cool. But like I had all the gear. I had a big Ronin thing with I think at the time I had a GH4, which was like the king of video back in the day. I had that. I had a big ready rig. I don't know if you've seen them. It's this big rig. Just all that, just everything, and a follow focus wheel. My
background's videography, so
nice.
this is,
so
you got my tail wagging,
I had everything, and it was just, I stopped enjoying it, and I would never just shoot videos, because I was thinking, if I'm going to go shoot a video, I've got to get the rig on, I've got to do this and that, and then I thought, I don't have to do that stuff. So most of my YouTube videos now are shot on a DJI action camera or a Pocket 3, and I've just simplified. I just find the story is way more important than the quality of the video. So
is there a part of you that's a bit heartbroken by that?
100%. I would love. I had a ZV. My last video, proper video camera, was a ZV E1, the full frame Sony camera. Amazing quality, but I would miss so many shots. I'd have to have a full size tripod for it, obviously. I'd be with my mate. We'd be hiking somewhere. I'm trying to jump over a stream or climb up a rock. I'd have to hand him that, and I just wouldn't film half the stuff because it was just a whole chore getting it out. Because it's that type of camera, I want to shoot in manual and I want to use ND filters and all that type of thing. So it just got complicated, and just missing a whole bunch of shots or funny things happening. So at least with the action camera, I just hold it the whole time. I can put it in my pocket, film things I wouldn't normally film. Like it's easy to use in the car. I'm not going to hold up a full frame camera and selfie
Yep.
vlog in the car while I'm driving. So simplifying things brought me back to enjoying it. And it's the same with photography. Photography is a lot simpler because you're not really having to involve with gimbals and all that type of thing. But I've only got like 3 lenses. I mean, that might be a lot to some people, but I know people with like 10, 12 lenses. But I have analysis paralysis as well. So if I have 10 lenses, I'm going to want to bring them all.
You have on your website a sheet that someone can fill out and you give them gear
I
recommendations.
was about to say, because one of the questions I thought you may have asked me is what's the most annoying question I get? Or not, I wouldn't say annoying, I hate that term, but what's the probably most common question I get, and is it what camera I should buy? And I hate answering it because I haven't used every camera in the world, and I'm not biased. Like I shoot Sony, but I'll happily recommend someone a Canon or Nikon if I think that's. Did I say Canon? I always do that because Nikon.
Nikon,
Canon,
Nikon.
Nikon.
Do you want to know a little secret?
What's that?
Sometimes when we shoot stuff and we have to mention Nikon, Nikon, within the video we'll say it differently and both, and see if people baiting people for a comment.
Yeah, that's good.
And
like
that does go against some part of my morals. Like that does like hurt baiting people to react.
So how do you say it?
I don't know anymore.
Oh, I say
Nikon?
I say Nikon. Yeah.
Nikon. I think Nikon.
But I always say Canon by accident because I know I usually say Nikon before or after, so I'm like Canon, Nikon. I mean, sorry, Canon,
I see. Yeah.
Nikon. Yeah. I haven't shot with everything, but I usually just say like this is what the form does. Like, what's your budget? Where do you live? Because obviously there's different offerings where you live, used and new. So they can choose all that type of stuff, and it will recommend the camera and 2 or 3 lenses if they want lens recommendations as well. So I don't like to say I got sick of the question, but at the end of the day, sometimes the equipment it matters, but if you're a beginner and you've got a budget, then you don't need a Sony A7R5 with a $3,000 lens. Like if you've got the budget and you want to do that, that's fine. But yeah, the recommendation tools more so I didn't have to keep looking up cameras, because someone might be like, oh, I shot Canon a few years ago, so I prefer to stick with Canon, but I want one that's good for this, this and that. And I really don't know because I don't know every single make and model that exists unless I have it in my hands and I've physically
There's an old full-time filmmaker video where they got an experienced videographer to use an entry-level Sony, and they gave their beginner videographer a red Komodo, I think it was. And videography is a bit different because there's editing involved, but it was really interesting to see how the skills were applied in different ways. But it's like, don't go for the Ferrari straight away. Learn to drive in the Holden and get familiar with the mechanics there. And
speaking of that, I have a video that's similar, but it's for photography. So I gave a mate of mine who his photography knowledge goes as far as using a phone, but he's got a crazy eye. Like he was an amazing artist who used to draw on his walls when he was younger, like cool stuff, like Wolverine, just amazing artist. And he's got a really good eye for things. So I took him out and I said, you can have all my stuff. So he had I think it was A7 IV at the time I might have had. He had that, all 3 of my Tamron lenses, my tripod. He could use everything. And I had a Canon 1500D, just a obviously budget entry-level camera with the kit lens, 18-55. And I said, you go take photos. If you need to ask me anything, how to specifically, about a function on the camera, just ask me. But I'll take the Canon and we'll do a little battle. So I did that. We put the photos up on Instagram. No one knew whose was who, and they voted, and I won. And my message in that video was, this is why gear doesn't matter, because as much as he's really artistic, his composition let him down a little bit, but also lighting and things like that. He probably wasn't paying too much attention to that stuff.
You put your reps in, and that's just what it is. Yeah.
So what I say to people is just like, when I say the gear doesn't matter, it definitely does, but I think it helps people who already understand how to use it. Like, for landscapes, it's not so difficult because the autofocus doesn't really have to be that fast. Low light's not an issue if you're using a tripod. It's probably more important for videography, for autofocus and all that type of stuff, or for wildlife. But that stuff definitely, like better autofocus, better low light, all that stuff definitely helps for if you know how to use it.
The gear question becomes a point of like, what are your needs? Like niches are you looking to explore and what are your interests
Mm-hmm.
and who are you looking to become.
Yep.
And the list of needs that people can have, you will say what you need,
Yep.
and it could be totally different to what I
100%.
need.
Yeah.
And that's where this gets really, really interesting
Yep.
with the gear limitations.
Yep.
What is next for you in your career? Do you want to do more of the coursework, more photos,
Yep.
more YouTube? What are you thinking?
All of it. So
Okay.
I definitely want to grow YouTube, which and it's so difficult these days. I wish I pressed on YouTube a lot harder. Maybe 10 years ago, it was a lot easier to grow. I find now, like I would do I think when I spoke to you last time when I came here, I did a silly video that would get like 300 views overnight. Now I'll do like a meaningful video and it'll get like might take a week to get 300 views. So that's a lot tougher. So yeah, definitely working on my YouTube. I'm trying to put a video up every single week now, like a travel adventure that obviously includes photography. Course-wise, I've got a nightscape course that I'm about to start because obviously this time of year is better just because the sun sets earlier, the Milky Way comes up earlier. So yeah, that I'm about to start, and I want to also do just the purely editing course because there's a lot of people out there who have said to me, "Oh, I know enough about photography, but it's the editing side I struggle with." So yeah, definitely more of just everything. Trying to grow social media in general. Yeah.
You've done a good job on your social media because the photo side is just your photography, but then when I click your Reels tab, it's all of the personal brand stuff.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to commend you on that
thank
first
you.
of all. But what got you started on doing a personal brand? I know it's sort of a buzzword that like business gurus use, and it's a
Yeah.
bit like, fuck
I'm
off.
an
Like,
influencer.
oh
No,
yeah.
I hate that.
Coachella's
that.
more about being an influencer at Coachella than
Yeah.
it being a music festival.
Yeah, exactly.
But how did you get started on the personal brand?
So originally my channel might have been called Ronin Media. And then I was like, oh, I want to be a bit more personal. Like, I think it's just mainly because a lot of the guys I followed and watched, there was just their name, or it was a bit more personal. So this was well before all the courses and stuff. So I think I changed my channel name to Michael Ronin Media. And then I eventually just dropped the media because I was doing like just random stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of random stuff on my channel as well from like back in the day, like there's car stuff on there. I probably should delete it, but I've just left it on there. There's like car stuff on there, silly vlogs, which actually I enjoy having on there because me and my partner sometimes just go back and watch just silly vlogs and things like that. Even now I film, because no one does home videos anymore, I'll film home videos at home. I don't really put them on YouTube, but I'll just edit them like it's a YouTube video and I'll put them on my server at home and we can just watch them. Because even though we have our phones and we've probably got 400 hours of video on our phones of our kids or whatever, it's not like you go back and watch each video.
Oh yeah.
So to have like a home video.
Speaking of Coachella, you see the frame, the top 2/3 is the artist singing, and then the bottom third is everyone with their phones up.
Exactly.
Do you rewatch that crap?
Yeah.
No.
No, exactly. Never again. Yeah. So yeah, I filmed. If I go to a concert, I might film like a couple of minutes, and I'm like, all right, that's it. Phone's away. I'm enjoying this. Like I'm here to experience this.
Oh,
type of
I do
thing.
the sneaky one. I wear the meta glasses.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I was at Linkin
At least
Park.
you can do both
yeah.
at once. Yeah. Oh, did you see Linkin
I
Park?
saw Linkin Park and had the meta glasses on.
Old Linkin Park or new?
New Linkin Park.
nice.
Emily Armstrong.
Oh, my mate went
leading.
to that one. Yeah. I wish I saw them with Chester, like back in the day. And I'm
Yeah.
an idiot because I didn't. Like I had a chance to go and I didn't. And same with Metallica. I think it was last year. They came. Was it last year towards the end of the year?
Something like
And I'm like,
that.
oh, I better go because they're probably going to retire soon. Anyway, if they do come back, I'm going.
Chester passed when I was 17,
Okay.
which was almost 10 years ago.
Wow. That's
So,
quick. If you asked me when it was, I would have probably said 3 years ago. That's nuts. Time flies.
yeah, and so I wasn't really concert-minded
true.
back then.
Yeah.
But if I could travel back in time and see something like that.
Yeah,
I'm
that'd be
personally glad
amazing.
that they're still
Yeah, I
making
know. And
music
she's
out
amazing
there.
too. She's amazing
Yeah.
too. Like, not to take anything from her, but like, his voice is just crazy.
It feels like we have to defend her a lot.
I know,
I actually
I know.
agree with you.
Yeah.
But just with the online rhetoric of there's a new singer and
Yeah.
the attachment there, it's
It's bold of them to do, but yeah, good on them. They've done well.
we've diverted quite a bit from.
I know. Sorry. So the original answer is the personal brand thing. Is that what it was?
Yeah, talking about that.
Yeah. So I think it's just other guys that I followed, and then I thought if I am going to do things like educational content and stuff, then it's probably best I have a name and people can. It's easy to find me on whether it's Instagram, YouTube, etc. So yeah.
I've always found it tough to start a personal brand
Mm-hmm.
because I would go and do video for the client, and then I would go home, I'd edit that, and then I've got a day off or it's a weekend, and I'm like, okay, it's time for Joe content. And as soon as I get the camera out to film Joe content, I'm like, this is the last thing I want to do.
Yeah, I get it. I get
It's
it.
like how some doctors struggle to watch medical dramas
Yep.
because it's just reliving it. It's not that equivalent, of
Yeah.
course.
I get you. Yeah, yeah, it definitely makes sense. I think maybe that's why I don't do as much videography these days, because I do like the YouTube
Yeah.
side, but not like professionally.
How is it doing the piece to cameras inside your home or in your studio versus out in the wild with your landscape work and your coursework?
I much prefer out in the wild.
Really? Why's that?
It's just because I'm just talking about what I'm seeing. Whereas if I'm at home doing a sit down thing, I'll stuff up 50 times. I'll have to remember certain things.
Do you need a script?
I don't. I'm actually probably worse with scripts.
Really?
Yeah, so I try and just like the thing is, if I'm reviewing a product, I've used it enough to know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
So we like to wrap up the podcast by the previous guest leaving a question for you. They don't really know who you are and you don't know who they are.
Cool.
And this is a little bit of a long one, but
Yep.
I think you'll have an answer for it. What is the most serendipitous moments you have had with photography? Maybe you weren't even out shooting or were shooting something different, but everything came together unexpectedly for the perfect shot. And what made it special for you?
Okay. There's one memory that I have that the photo itself wasn't fantastic. I was filming for my course and I was in Cape Woolamai. I walked all the way out to the Pinnacles. I think they're called the Pinnacles. I think there's two places called the Pinnacles, but there's like, three big rocks out in the ocean. And it was obviously, I was shooting a sunset photo and I don't know why, I just felt like I was on the edge of the earth. Just like, it's when I got obsessed with like astro and not just astro, but like physics in terms of space and all that type of stuff. I got obsessed for a while with that. And I don't know, it was just felt magical being there, even though it was just a pretty average photo. It was just just the feeling of being there at night and just having the ocean, just nothing around you but the ocean, and just, feeling like I was on the edge of the earth. It was crazy.
That's interesting.
That's probably...
Do you like the thrill of the hunt per se with getting a landscape photo?
I definitely do, yeah.
Yeah.
My biggest struggle is probably finding locations at the moment that are within a radius that I'm willing to drive to on that day, which is again why I'm building the camper van. But it's definitely, I love going somewhere and just trying to find the composition and saying, all right, this is it, but I'll come back when the light's good. See, I never would have done that in the past. I would have just taken the photo, then left. Whereas now I'll go somewhere, I'll be like, all right, this is the composition. Let's go have dinner somewhere, come back here for sunset or golden hour. Hopefully we get the light we want, and so I kind of stake the scene out before I come back.
Moving forward in the future, camper van's ready.
Yep.
You've got your 10 lenses in your camper van.
Yeah.
Because you've got the capacity to hold it now.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Heaps of places. Probably Tassie first.
Okay.
Definitely for like nightscapes there, it would be next level. Especially if we get some auroras and things like that happening, that'd be cool. Tassie, Great Ocean Road, which I've been to many times. I haven't done much photography there. I've been there a lot as a kid, but that's pretty cliche though, Great Ocean Road. But definitely
I've never done the Great Ocean Road.
Oh, really?
I've lived in Melbourne all but 4 months, and I've never done Great Ocean Road.
It's beautiful. Check it out. New South Wales. A few of my students from New South Wales, and they put up some really nice like photos with really good locations. And I've gotten close with a lot of them that say, if you ever come up, they'll take me around. So that's cool. New Zealand. Obviously, I'm not driving to New Zealand, but eventually I'd like to make my way there. Iceland. In terms of Australia, Tassie, just everywhere. Eventually, I would love to do a whole tour. Take the family and just shoot some videos, travel videos, and just stop off everywhere and take photos. I think it'd be awesome.
Fantastic.
Maybe make a book of it too.
Oh yeah, make me a
awesome.
book.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, it's been absolutely fantastic having you on the podcast. I really appreciate all your insights, and I like the authenticity you had about coursework, because I don't know that it gets the best rap with a lot of people online.
Yeah.
But you seem legit. You don't seem legit. You are legit.
Thank you.
No need for weird language.
No,
there.
I'm very honest, and a lot of people that have done the course say they enjoyed it because I was just down to earth and normal. They said a lot of learnings things they'd consumed before, the people are yelling at them. Like they're too excited, which is good for some people, but I like to just keep it chill. And I'm even on my YouTube, I'm like, what's going on YouTube? I just can't do that. I feel fake if I'm like doing that. So I'm very like, I don't know if I'd say monotone, but I'm very just like, yeah, relaxed.
No, I get what you mean.
Even if something's beautiful, I'm like, it's hard for me to go crazy over it. I'm just like, oh, that's really beautiful. Like I'm very chill, I guess.
It's this weird thing where it's like authenticity sells, and it doesn't matter like if you've spoken a certain way or whatever. People can tell when it's
100%.
when it's real or fake.
At the end of the day, I can look back and say like that was me. So I just try and be real. Yeah.
Where can people find you?
So Instagram, Michael Ronin. Facebook, Michael Ronin. I do have TikTok, but I just chuck reel. Like whatever I put on Instagram as a reel, I just put on there. I don't think that's my target demographic. It does okay, but I dump stuff on there. I don't even look at it.
It gets like what 7,000, 7 million. That's your
yeah
the view range.
Yeah. Facebook, Instagram, my website. Do you want me to say it? Or?
Yeah, you can say it.
So I've got theultimatephotographycourse.com. That's the course stuff, and I have michaelroninphotography.com, which is like I've got some calendars that I sell, prints, Lightroom presets, which everyone sells. They're my links.
Fantastic, dude. If you want to find out what Michael asked next week's guest, tune in and you can find out. But thanks for watching, everyone.
Beautiful. Thanks very much for having me.
You're very welcome. All right. Bye-bye.